G'day, today I want to talk about tiger snake behaviour. I've noticed how it changes under certain environments.
Snake Artist features encounters with hazardous or dangerous wildlife. Bill Flowers is a trained professional. We do not encourage anyone to attempt to recreate or reenact any of these activities. No animals were harmed making these videos.
G'day, so tiger snake behaviour. If you've watched my channel before, you've probably seen me sketch a tiger snake. If not, here's a quick preview of what happens when I sketch a tiger snake. First up, it has this response of feeling threatened, and so it will puff itself up, it will defend itself. Usually when I catch them to relocate them from one place to another, usually in people's backyards, they call me up, I pick up the snake, I find the nearest available environment to release that snake. At that time is usually when I pull out the sketch pad and do a sketch. It's a good chance for me to look the snake over properly to see if there's any injury there, get a good chance to get a sketch in, and then I'll let the tiger snake go its way. And it's often at these times of very first contact is where you get the neck puffing out, it acting what people call aggression. I call it fear. The snake's afraid. And it's really interesting if you ever see those puffer fish that when they get frightened they puff up. Same thing. Snakes do that, and people don't call those puffer fish aggressive. They call them, they do that as a fear response. Exactly what the tiger snakes are doing. Like any animal, if you push it enough, it's going to bite as a form of communication, not as a way of defense. Now the next environment is in an enclosure. Once you've got a snake in an enclosure, it can relax for a while until you go near it, and then it might puff up and get defensive again, especially if it's a wild snake not born in captivity. Some tiger snakes calm right down, relax. Some are always defensive, and some hide all the time. They all have their own personalities. But in the enclosure, they can feel cornered. Whenever a snake feels cornered, it feels it has no options, that's when bites can happen. Next you got what I call the reptilian feed response. Watch out for your fingers. When you feed a reptile, it will go into a bit of a frenzy. It's looking for food, and it doesn't think about anything else. It doesn't think about not biting the hand that feeds it. So that's where you've got to be very careful. If you have an outdoor enclosure, they're more likely to hide and act wild, but they also can relax. Now, the pit, the show pit. Here we have a completely different scenario. When I put up a 4 metre by 4 metre pit, I noticed that the snakes will relax. Many snake shows have noticed this, that you get these wild snakes that put on a great show for the public, but then they just become very docile. Rather than continually trying to find wild snakes, I'm just working with the docile ones, because that's the natural state of these guys. They relax right down. Recently I did a medieval festival, and for that I decided I wanted to have baskets, not plastic containers. Baskets. Baskets are great. You can bag up a snake, put it in it, and the basket's very breathable. It's not airtight. I noticed an interesting behaviour, and that is this basket rim riding. Actually, I probably will call it, let's call it basket edge riding. They get on the edge of the basket and they go around and around. They look like they're trained to do it. It's a really interesting response. They'll climb along rope, they'll climb along wire, they're like tightrope circus snakes. So this gave me this idea. So I had this, I got there and I drew down this plan of making an easel and having a basket at the back of it, a flat one that people could see in, and hopefully they would roam around that. What could possibly go wrong? I noticed that the next thing they did is they started climbing up over the easel and up onto the painting. So I put up another pallet as a stage to help them climb up there. And we have this other interesting behaviour in that they'll get up high and just look around. So I thought maybe they're trying to escape, but they'll just sit up there and bask and relax. Now this is unusual, being that you imagine that the thing that snakes most fear are birds of prey. So I'm sort of thinking to myself, why would they be up there? Maybe it's because they feel safe. So here's the thing. They first fear humans because they fear they're going to get killed. They fear they're going to get eaten. Once they don't get eaten, I've noticed the snakes kind of relax. Even ones that I'm releasing, even the ones that have the fear response that strike at me, even those guys will calm down after a while when they realise I'm not eating them. But when I'm with them for a while, I have a theory that they actually feel safe with me, because I'm this great big chimp that's not eating them, and I'm stopping the birds of prey coming down and eating them, because it's unlikely a bird of prey is going to come down and attack a snake while I'm there. So maybe they feel some form of protection from me. I'm not saying that they love me. I don't think snakes give a stuff about their carers really. I believe they tolerate humans well in certain circumstances. It's almost like they have this instinctive bargaining of, I won't hurt you if you don't hurt me. Kind of like if you've ever seen the movie King Kong, any of them with dinosaurs in, where the girl's afraid of King Kong, but when a dinosaur comes along, King Kong protects the girl from the dinosaur, and therefore she's not that afraid of King Kong anymore. Maybe it's that kind of relationship where they feel a certain safety, they feel a certain protection from me, but at the same time I won't say that they love me. However, having said that, I have had a really good working relationship with some snakes, and I have noticed that snakes, when they get fed, some just love being in captivity. You get a wild snake, you feed it, you give it heat, you remove the threat of predation, and they are a very relaxed, chilled out, calm snake. Other snakes hate being in captivity, you know, you can see they're trying to escape all the time. No, I never keep those, I let them go. I find a nice place for them where there's plenty of food for them, and hopefully they'll live happily ever after. But there are those tiger snakes that really love being in captivity. So a lot of the snakes I keep them for probably a variety of sentimental reasons. If they're being injured at all, I like to keep them until they look absolutely healthy. If they're an older snake, if they're big old snakes, large snakes, I sort of think, and they're happy to be in captivity, I think, well, why don't they just live the remaining of their life sort of leisurely and relaxed? And if they're small snakes, I think, you poor thing, you're going to get eaten. So I suppose there's a few reasons why I keep certain snakes. Getting back to doing the show, it's great when people come up and they say, why aren't those snakes biting you? Well, it's not great, it just sort of shows ignorance. But it's a great opportunity for me to sort of say, well, I'm not biting them. And then I explain, I'm not hurting them, and this is the natural way that snakes behave when they are not feeling threatened. I can then move that into snakes are not vicious, they're not out to get you, they are just a living animal like any other animal. They're part of our beautiful wildlife and they need to be respected. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I usually don't like to go in and sort of say, you know, the like, subscribe and all that sort of stuff. However, for a small YouTube channel like mine, it really does actually help. It is actually supporting the channel when you leave a comment, when you like it. It really helps me heaps. So for once I'm going to sort of say, like this video, share it, leave a comment, thumbs up, you know the drill. Oh, and subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye.